Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak. I'm here again with another story. Today's story is very important and historically, for some religiously, but as a management science student and as a leadership student, it is one of the most important story you would have ever heard. I'm pretty sure that you would have all heard about the book The Hundreds by Michael Hart. Everyone would have talked about the top 3 or everyone, but there is a person on number 52 who is above Caesar and above other rulers based on his ruling credibility and based on his administrative capabilities, Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And you people might have heard, if you are into the war history, that there are only few generals as Alexander and as Genghis Khan which are considered as unbeatable or unbeaten. And in those journals there is a person whose name comes again and again as one of the best journals still read today for his theory, his practical, his tactics, Hazrat Khalid bin Walid. I will keep it short and start. Iran as current and Persia as old was about to be conquered under the leadership of Khalid bin Walid as a general, and Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu as a ruler at that time took him off right at the peak of the military campaign. And Hazrat Abū Ubaidah was positioned as the head of the army. A very controversial decision, if we say of today. It would be in the middle of the crisis, a CEO is changed, or in the middle of corruption purge, prime minister is changed, or in the middle of financial crisis, a family head is changed. So it is a very controversial decision if we see it like this. But let's keep it here and we move on. We will come back to it. We have multiple books. I think one of the most studied subject in the world is leadership itself. We have the books from the philosophy, we have the books from the management science, we have the book from the business science, we have the books from the political science, we have books from religious matters. But yet we again fall into the same track and we fail again and again and again. Let me take you back to the time of the Plato, when he took a symbol of a ship and explained ship as a city state or ship as a metaphor, or when even now the people say anchor leadership, right? So all these books, all these theories, all these things, I'm not saying everyone fails, but why we have this big issue in countries, in companies, in personal life, everywhere? Why? So let's go into something called the theories of ship. These theories of ship are not based on personalities, but rather based on functions. If you see a ship, a little bit old ship or even a new ship, the first thing you will see is a figurehead. It's something which is majestic. It's in front of the ship. It's like a beautiful thing. It's the identity of the ship. Wherever the ship goes, this goes. This is what defines the ship. So let's dig down. So the first theory says the leadership as the figureheads. And the figurehead is the part of the ship, the majestic part of the ship, which identify the ship, which give ship a name, and which is always in the front and move. So it's like a symbolic representation of the ship. And by that, anyone can know what ship it is. So if we break it down and we bring it down to the leadership, this is the leader, which is the identity. This is the leader around which the people move. This is the leader which make people unite. This is the leader which create a movement around himself or around his purpose. A very useful, a very strong leader. But with everything, there is a flaw. The only flaw here is not the leader itself. It's the people, when they follow him, they become emotionally attached. Something in other philosophy called cult mindset. We will discuss this mindsets in another video. But anyway, so this leader, when taken out of context of leadership and become a person, and people revolve around it and make him the most important thing, that's where the problem starts. So the next part of the leadership theory from the ship is the mask. The mighty, beautiful, majestic mask. It's what make the ship move. It's what make the ship look beautiful. It's a leader which move the ship when it is required to be moved. When it's open, the ship moves. But the problem is that when there is no wind, it cannot move the ship. So these are the leaders which are the one who move when the external forces are available, when they need to look majestic and people follow them. These leaders have their own category. These leaders are important because they take ship to the places. But when the hard time comes, they cannot perform. And this is something which make their utility come lower. Now we come to the third part of the theory, or the third theory of the leadership, which is the anchor. Anchor is something ugly, something not every ship can even bear, or every ship can even afford. When it's taken out, it makes splashes, but it's what anchors. That's what need for ship to be strong and stable and stay. So these are the leaders which are needed in the time of crisis. They are the crisis managers. They are the crisis leaders. They can anchor everything strongly. But the problem is that if this anchor does not lift up, what will happen? Their strength become the weakness. The ship cannot move. And when the ship cannot move, it's a problem. Now we come to the next part, which is the captain. This is the guy who is not majestic from among the people. On the sea, his authority does not even come from any authority. His authority comes from people following him. If no one following him, there is a mutiny. We have many examples of mutiny. He is the guy who guides by experience. He is the guy who moves by motivation. He is the guy who knows how the things have to be done. So these are the leaders for the time when you need to move everything, when you are stable, you are in the place where the ship need to move and all the elements need to move. And the irony is that this captain or this leader can himself become a trouble if people does not listen to him or if he overdo his part. So this brings us to the last part of this theory. It is not inside the ship, but it is outside. It's the harbor, but it's the part of the ship. It's where the ship has to come. It's the home. It's the guidance. It's where it will get maintenance. It's where it will have the rest to move for the next journey. That's our systems. That's the board of director. That's the election after every certain years. That's the policies, that's the constitution. So, the management theories of ship define function which can be done by a person, but it is not dependent on the person. So until and unless we start seeing the leadership as a function, and that function to be performed by a specific specialist who is then to be respected but not worshipped, then we moved on to others. Let's see it in a scenario of a company or a country. There can be a father of nation who moved the nation and rallied them all and took out the foreigners and made a country, and yet his nation destroys because he became stubborn and became the ruler or became the massive force, and he did not know about the economics or about any other functions, and no one can say no to him. We have many examples of this in the history. This can be a founder also who built the company, but then he became the toxic leader who cannot move the company, because building and having an idea is one thing, but running a company is another thing. This can be a political leader also. He built a party, he rallied against the corruption, he rallied against the political system. That's very good. He took it to there, but when he is in the government, he does not know what to do. So, the theory says that you can have all in one or one in all, but it's always important to have specialist. Taking the same example, if a company is being built, it needs a founder. If it is being changed, it needs something called the transitional managers. That transitional manager have to have the same authority as the CEO. When the company is running properly, then you need a CEO, but you also need a figurehead, which is your branding, your logos. Same way, in a political party, you need a charismatic leader, the figurehead, which joins everything together, which bring the people there. But then you need the mask, the captain, the things. Once you are in the government, you need to know what person has to go where, what person has to go where. So the thing is that you can have a founder, you can have a leader who made a party, you can have a founder of the company, you can have a father of a nation, you can have anything and everything around you in the same way. And it's not, does not mean that you disrespect those people. You respect them, but they have to respect also that the leadership is a function. Leadership is not a person. It's a person in its own function. And when that function is gone and you try to keep that person, you will fail. Now, let's go back to our story. Hazrat Khalid bin Walīd, the greatest general mind of all the history, did what? When the ruler told him, step down, he stepped down. He did not have the ego. Best management, best leadership lesson. He stepped down. He worked as a soldier. He did not say why. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, at the peak of that campaign, took Khalid bin Walīd down and brought an anchor, because an anchor was needed, because ship was drifting due to the mindset of the people. So, and the harbor was always Islam. So, for any function to work, for any party to work, for any country to work, you must have these things: the figurehead, the mask, the anchor, the captain, and most importantly, the harbor. The right angle, as always, is love whoever you want to love. Work wherever you want to work. Have leaders wherever they are needed. Never disrespect any leader, but know their utility. Don't worship people. Don't worship position. Make people for right purpose at right time. Give them the respect needed. A father of nation should never be forgotten. A co-founder should never be taken out. A political leader should never be disrespected, but know their limitations. Always follow the harbor. Your policies, your board of director, your constitution, your purpose, your utility, and how they are formed around those leaders. I hope this gives you a new perspective on the leadership. Wish you all the best and Eid Mubarak once again. Allah Hafiz.